For all things outdoors, listen to the father of two, the Jesus-loving TV show hosting hairy, true-blood American redneck, Ben Cole.
And listen to the outdoor filming, chef cooking, chocolate milk drinking, John Weismuller. And we are
Rooted Podcast.
What's going on, my brother John? Look, we have had some fun over the past few days. Let's dive in, talk about some of our trapping, what we've gotten, and talk about the closing of duck season. But we also have an announcement to make about an upcoming trade show. So why don't we start off with that? Why don't we start off with talking about where we're going to be, what trade show it is, and where our booth is, and how people can come and see us. What do you think on that, John? Fill us in on those details.
Sounds like a great thing. So, listen, guys, Rooted Podcast / Rooted Television is going to be at the National Wild Turkey Federation Convention and Sports Show in Nashville, Tennessee, February 15th, 16th, and 17th. We are booth number 1956. So we would love it if y'all who are going to be there, come by and see us. If you're not going to be there, listen, that's okay. You could still buy all of our stuff online. Check us out on all of our socials, anywhere you listen to a podcast. So, but listen, it's going to be a really fun time. We may, hey, listen now, we may be doing a giveaway at the show. So you may want to come by. So listen, guys, come to the show, booth 1956, Nashville, Tennessee, NWTF show. It's going to be a great time. This is Rooted Podcast first show, okay, officially. So that's a big deal for us. And we're just really excited, man. I really love that show. There's a whole story of how I got into the outdoor industry, and it all has to do with the NWTF show. So it's a really big deal to me that we're there, and I'm really excited to be there with Ben and just, grow Rooted, introduce people to Rooted, and I'm just really excited, man.
Man, it's, the show was a way you got introduced into the outdoor industry, and then through that, Mr. Sean Templeton, brother, he introduced us together, and now we have grown the Rooted brand from more than a television show. It's now a podcast too, and honored to do it. Awesome. Do it with you, brother.
Absolutely. So it's gonna be a great time, and I'm just ready for it. I'm just ready.
Yeah, come on out and see us. You never know, we may just have a giveaway. You can't ever tell. But let's get started for today, John. What have you been trapping lately? Have you been setting out any of those traps to catch those turkey nest predators?
I have. I do have some raccoons in my neck of the woods there, so I put out a couple dog proofs about probably 2 or 3 days ago. I think I need to move them. I think the raccoons have shifted on me, which is fine. So I know where they are. So tomorrow I will go and make those adjustments. But yeah, man. So I've just got a couple a couple dog proofs out there, some cat food in it, and waiting for the best. So I did do something new though, trapping wise. That's not for turkeys per se, but I've had just like 2 or 3 wild hogs on the property. First I've ever had, and I've talked about it before, but now my dad and we went out and built a homemade hog trap. So the premise of it is it's just basically a big circle, and the end of it kind of overlaps on the inside there with the beginning of it. So the end comes inside the beginning, and you leave that part of the fence like not posted into the ground. So it kind of acts like a flap, and the pigs come in, open the flap, and when they get on the other side it closes, and then they can't get out. So we've got that set up. I'm really, really hoping that works. I don't have a ton of hogs to catch, but it would be really cool. Really, really cool if that works out.
Oh, yeah, man. I love trapping, but I really love killing pigs. I don't know why, other than they're just an absolute nuisance to everything. And, they really don't have any natural predators in our area except for the
Mm-mm.
black bear and stuff like that. But, they populate so fast that it's really impossible
Yeah.
to catch up with their spread. So the sooner you get on that, the better, because the eastern part of the state in Tennessee has already gotten quite a large population of hogs. And
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, that's not good for anything, especially farming. If you're trying to grow some deer, it's not good. They'll root up your food plots. They'll pretty much destroy just about anything and everything just to eat. And they're nasty little critters, man. They are nasty. I mean, just gross. And they stink. Them big old boar hogs, man. They got a
Oh, yeah, they do.
rank odor to them. And, you had that experience with me down in South Georgia. You remember when we smoke rolled that big rascal and then we went to load that
Oh,
thing
yeah.
up and, dude, our hands smell awful for a
Ew.
month. I was like, dude, we should
Oh,
have just,
it was a real bad idea.
shoo,
Yeah,
that
you
thing
need to wear
had
gloves.
yeah, it was ripe. But man, I love trapping too. And we've caught a lot of hogs over the years in those traps that, you can close the door with a cell phone or you can watch the cell camera and see, okay, we've got X amount of pigs in this trap. Let's drop the door right now. And we've done that a bunch. It's very successful, very, very good way to catch a large number of pigs at one time, because you just wait until they all get in there and then shut the door on them. Then, well, guess what? There's nothing they can do
Mm-hmm.
but meet a 22 mag, and that's about it. I mean, the little ones are really good to eat, man.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
20 pounds up to about 150-pound sow, man. You want to talk about some fine eating? You dig you a hole in the ground and let some coals get down in there, and you bury that rascal for a day. Talk about pick it off the bone. You just put the whole pig on the table and you just sit there and eat what you want. I mean, just right off that hog. Now, you want to get it de-haired and all that stuff before you do that. I don't suggest eating hog hair. Probably not very good for you. Probably don't taste good neither. But
Yeah, probably not.
yeah, not at all, man. I would definitely recommend getting it de-haired and preparing it right before you cook it and before you feed it to all your buddies. But man, as
Yeah.
far as the nest predators go, I have yet to start trapping raccoons this year. It's been a little bit different year for me. We've been duck hunting pretty hard up until last week,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever the end of it was, the end of January. I even forget what day it is. What is it? We're in February. Yeah, we're in February. So the last day of duck season, man, it was awesome. Had a great time in Arkansas. Killed a bunch of ducks and for the last 2 days there. But we've had a really good season. We have killed
Yeah.
quite a few greenheads this year, which was pretty awesome. Usually my seasons are not filled with straps full of greenheads, but this year it was pretty solid. I'm not a purist by any means. I will kill whatever duck that's legal to kill that comes in the decoy spread and does it right. But on that subject, we still have to do our due diligence and catch these little nest predators because, I mean, they rob duck nests, and majority of our waterfowl, they winter up north, right, in Canada and the Dakotas and stuff like that. But, um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
one thing you got to look at though is you may have a local population of birds that do nest there, that do nest on your farm. Like wood ducks, for example. That's the most populous bird in the state of Tennessee as far as waterfowl goes, and they I mean they definitely have predation. So what I've been doing is I've been focusing on those song dogs, those coyotes. Me and my son went out together,
How's that
and
going?
me and old Tedro, we went out and we set 2 traps on our home farm here, and they ain't even that far apart. And we have caught 2 coyotes back to back day or within 3 days of each other. So 2 coyotes, 3 days apart. But here's the deal. Here's the way I do my coyote sets. So on this particular one, I didn't even know that there was that many coyotes traveling through there. I just found a worn path in the woods, and I thought, could be a pretty solid sign. And I've had a couple on trail cam because I'll see if there's any deer here and all that stuff, and a couple bobcats. So what I did is I save all the carcasses, like duck carcasses and stuff. Um, I save a couple back in the freezer after I've cleaned them and all that stuff, and they're ready to go. And dude, that makes the most epic bait in a trap set you could ever imagine. Phenomenal. But more so
Wow.
because you can't keep that many because of the laws saying you can only have X amount on your possession at a time, so you can only keep what, like, one limit or something. Well, it's probably more than that, but I like to keep just one limit on me in my freezer, so that way I can be within the laws. And there's certain regulations and stuff to do with that, so just make sure you look into your local regulations on that side of things. But there's also some dirt hole sets too that you can do. You can use a little bit of everything. Uh, if you're around beavers, beaver caster works really well. They have this stuff called yoke dope. Dude, that stuff works real good. I caught my first coyote and a fox off that last year during season, and man, it worked great. But this year, man, like I said, I didn't realize that these dogs were running through there like that. So I just went to the left of the trail there, and I made a triangle right out of some sticks. And there was already there, making a natural triangle. So what I'm doing with that is I'm making it to where they can't come in the backside and steal the bait without going through the trap. So you want to make it to where they have to step in the trap to get to the bait. That is the goal, is to get them in the trap ultimately. So another little tip I do is I'll put one stick right in front of the trap, because they always step over the stick, because they don't want to make that snapping sound of the stick, because they think that, hey, this could be a live bird or whatever. There could be something in this dirt hole set. Um, so the stick really helps encourage that extra little step to get in that trap. And buddy, has it worked like a dream. I've never caught coyotes this
Wow.
fast. It's been phenomenal. And, just to take my son, go out into the woods, set up a trap, and we do it together, and then he gets to see
Yeah.
the
Awesome.
how it all works, man. And he even helped me skin that Yodi today. It was beautiful, man. He had big
Wow.
old black stripes down his legs and just a real heavy, dense coat. Just a beautiful, beautiful critter, man. And but he didn't like me too much. No. Attitude. Which I guess I'd have one too.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Those coyotes get really, really mad when they're in that trap, boy. You got to watch out now.
Yeah, they'll get you. Hey, man, them raccoons are probably meaner than the coyotes are in the trap. A dang boar raccoon, man, that dude will bow up at you. I'm like, come on, man, let's think about this.
Yeah, come on now.
I've got my little 22 revolver here, ready to rip, and I promise you, it's a lot meaner than you are. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
promise. Oh, promise.
dude, it was unreal. So there's one spot on the farm that I cannot catch a raccoon there. I don't know what keeps getting in that trap, but it's a dog-proof trap like you're talking about. And man, I
Mhm.
have had, and I check them every day. So it's not like I leave it for days at a time, days on end, none of that. Check them just about every single day at some point throughout the day. And this one particular trap is right by a little spring where it comes out from the mountains, and it just holds water there. It just pools up a little bit. It's not a pond, it's too little. I could step across it. It just pools right there a little bit. So I thought, man, that'd be a real fine spot for a raccoon to hang out. And every time I've checked it, my trap is like disappeared in the bushes. Obviously I have it anchored to a tree, but it's stretched out, nothing in there, set off. And I'm thinking, what happened? You know, what got in that trap that was big enough? Because dog proof is little, man. You can
Yeah.
barely get a finger or a couple fingers in there. So it's not like a deer or a turkey or anything like that got in it. I know better than that because they can't get in there.
Mhm.
So I just wonder, what in the world? Either that raccoon is a beast, and just a giant critter, or I don't know what's going on with that one, man. But there's definitely something going on with it, because it gets janked every time, man. It gets stolen every single time, and just mind boggling. So why don't you fill us in on
Hmm.
the kind of bait that you're using for your dog proof traps?
Yeah, well, I got a question first. Do you have a camera on that thing? If not, maybe it sounds like you need to put one on there and see what the heck's stealing. You think?
That's not a bad idea. I haven't even thought about putting a camera on that rig. That may help solve the mystery. The only thing is, I can't use those awesome Wise Eyes. Well, I guess I could. I just can't use the cell service because there's no service in that part of the farm. I mean, it's dead, dead. And they have, man, I'm telling you right now, that dual antenna camera that they've got is
It's
phenomenal.
it's legit.
It gets service where my cell phone don't even get service, and it don't even work
Yeah.
down there because it's just so back in the boonies. There's just nothing happening back there, man. But time and critters running around. So hopefully we
Mm.
can try it again. My approach to trapping these raccoons is a little bit of that Friskies cat food, and I may put a little bit of fish
Yeah.
oil on the outside of the trap. I know some people will use like marshmallows and stuff like that, and I'm sure it all works. And I'm sure there's several companies that make raccoon bait that you can actually put in the trap. But I mean,
Yeah.
Friskies works good for me, man. It works real good actually. So I'll take that. I mean, so what are you doing on your traps? What are you doing to figure out where the best place to put those traps? I mean, what are you doing with that?
Man, I don't really overthink it, and I'm really not like this trapping expert person. I'm new into it. So on all my cameras I got out, for during deer season, I've been just getting all these pictures of raccoons. So I'm like, well, the raccoons are here. I'll just put the trap here. And like I kind of try to hide it in some grass or something. And then like, I kind of try and make it not just point blank obvious, like there's like this trap in the middle of this dirt. And then I got this butterscotch kind of like paste almost. I don't know what it is really other than butterscotch flavor. But when I bought my traps from this dude at the turkey show, actually last year, um, he was selling this little bait and he said it was the one that works the most. So I don't know. He seemed like a pretty trustworthy fellow. So I just bought it from him. And so I put that up all up in that trap and then put some of that little cat food in there. And now we wait. So
Awesome, man.
hopefully it does work out.
You said something just then that made me think I missed out a part on the coyote trapping about hiding the trap. So one thing that I always make sure of, and I have listened to a good buddy of mine, his name's Zach, and Mr. Big Boy, some great folks, man. They've taught me a lot about trapping. Zach is awesome at it, dude. That dude caught some bobcats
Really?
last year. Yes, coyotes, all kind of stuff. That
Mm.
dude was catching stuff right and left. But what they taught me is you want to make sure that leg hold trap is seated properly and it doesn't have any like flex or moves or anything. Because if it moves the slightest when that dog steps on it, they're out, gone. You're not going to catch them that way. So you want to make sure that the hole you dig for your trap is just enough to be able to pack it in good. And you can take some of the extra dirt and pack it in around the bottom of the trap and around the
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the technical term for them, but I believe it's the ears that you fold open to open the trap. Um, but what you want to do is pack
Sure.
dirt underneath that and then press it down and kind of shake it back and forth a little bit until it gets seated. And then what I do is I take some more of that same pile of dirt and I'll pack it on top of those little tabs. And then I just punch it underneath the trap, kind of pack it in underneath around the jaws. And then I just take the jaw that's not the one that is loaded. It's the other one, the loose one. And I just give it a little bit of shape just to see if it's, what it's like. And if it's seated well and pretty concrete and solid, I'll take a little mesh screen And it's not I use the metal mesh sometimes, but I really, really like the synthetic mesh because it's flimsy and, but it does what I need it to do. It covers the pan of that trap and doesn't allow all the dirt to go up under it, which is another point, man. I use peat moss actually because it doesn't freeze. So I learned that last year. Bick told me that because me and Zach were having some problems with our traps freezing up because we were just using, the dirt that was right there, sifting it over and making it what it was. But peat moss does not freeze. So I was like, well, there we go. So I did that, and my son actually poured out 90% of the bag of peat moss while we were doing it. He's like, look, Daddy, I made a dirt pile. I was like, yes. Thanks, dude. But just have at it. Play your hearts out, man. Just have fun. I can get more peat moss, But then
absolutely.
so once I get my little square of mesh on there, I take the peat moss or dirt or whatever you have readily available. And, it's not the same in every place because we have a lot of rocks. We have a lot of hard soil to deal with. So the peat moss works really good for us for that too. You don't have to sift 30,000 rocks to get enough dirt to cover your trap. It's just nothing's in it except for the goodness. So I take that and I sift it over the trap until it's just a smooth, looks like nothing's there. I don't want any indentions. I don't want any, little crevices that make it look like, something's there. And another thing to be mindful of too is your scent. So a coyote obviously can smell extremely well. That's what they're good at. That's what they do, is they can smell unbelievably. So what I would suggest doing, what I do is I wear gloves, the same pair of gloves every single time that I go to set a trap because it already has all the scents of the bait. And, when I pick up the coyote, it's got the scent of the coyote on there. So it's not like human scent touching the trap a bunch. I mean, yeah, you're going to leave some scent behind. You just are. But there's ways to get around that so you're not constantly hammering down, your human scent, like touching the traps with your bare hands. That kind of stuff can be avoided by just wearing a simple pair of gloves that are super cheap at the local store. So I use the gloves, and then I'll use like a little, sometimes I'll use like a little foam pad that I put my knees on while I'm trying to do that. And I use the same one every single time. I mean, it stays outside. It smells like the outside. It's just a barrier to keep your scent away from the ground. That's pretty much all it is. It's just use something. You could use an old cloth or something that's been outside or whatever. Just something to give that little bit of a barrier between your scent and the ground, so that way you don't have a ton of scent right there at your set. That's what you're going for essentially. And and I'm talking like I've done this my whole life. Last year was the first year that I seriously started trapping. It's my first year. I caught one coyote, one fox, and 43 raccoons and a bunch of possums. So my coyote game was pretty weak last year. But this year, man, I have learned a lot. I mean, a whole lot. I was just a real novice, and I'm still a novice, man. I'm still don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning a lot, and I always appreciate other people's insight. We always love good advice on that.
Man, I would love to. I would love to learn it. I mean, I know nothing about it. But I would love to buy one and just try to put it out, as I have coyotes there. I mean, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've sat there turkey hunting at this particular tract of land and look over and there's a freaking coyote coming to eat me because it thinks I'm a turkey. I'm sitting there calling or whatever. So, I mean, I know they're there and I get pictures of them every once in a while. So I would like to try it just for the simple fact of doing it because I'm an American and I can do what I want.
Yeah, that's right. So one thing you need to do when you go buy a trap is you need to let them soak in something that will strip the packing grease off of them. Let them soak, and then let them sit in the rain for a few days and let them get a little rusty. And then what you want to do is boil them. You want to boil them bad boys, and then you can either do one of two things. You can dye them and then wax them, or there's this new product out that you can just dip them in there one time and you're golden. Like, I don't know what all it does. I don't even know the name of it. I picked it up at the Trapper show a few months back. I went there just fooling around and found that stuff, and I thought, that's a pretty good deal right there. I only have to dip my traps once. I like it. And it gets in all those little nooks and crannies of your springs and all the working parts and just keeps
Yeah.
it from rusting out, which I had a little bit of an issue with that last year. The wax did great, the dye did great, but I didn't let a couple of them sit long enough and get rusty enough to really, for that, the wax and the dye to adhere to it better. So now I have some pretty rusty traps. So I think what I'm going to do is pressure wash them and ball them and then redo the whole process this year. But I've got some I need to do also that are new that I never used last year. So I've still got to strip all the grease off those bad boys and dive right in and get to going on this, because I got some bobcats to catch. We got a mess of them at the ranch. I mean, dude, a mess of them.
Really?
You know where me and you sat in that shooting house on the bean field?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go
Oh, yeah.
straight to the top of that mountain where we're looking, when you're in that shooting house, you're looking straight out. If you go straight to the top of that mountain, I have a cell cam up there, an old wise eye. And buddy, there is a bobcat through there at least twice a week, if not more. And coyotes
Wow.
too. So I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I can catch something. I mean, I would love it. The statistics show that one female coyote kills about 19 fawns a year. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the whole stuff behind it, but
Really?
that's what I've read. Yeah, that's what I've read. They can kill up to 19 fawns a year. So, I mean, I've read it. I haven't
Believe it.
physically. That's just what I've.
Yeah, dude. And man, it doesn't matter if you have a big ranch or just a tiny track or even on public, like if the public allows you to trap. I mean, it's just so beneficial to your turkey numbers, man. I mean, I've seen so many cases, like I know this one gentleman, he had kind of a decline in numbers just on his own personal farm. This was way before COVID and all the numbers talk started happening in the turkey world, but he kind of was seeing this problem, and then he trapped 30 raccoons in one season, trapping season. And then the 2 seasons later, I mean, his turkey numbers just skyrocketed, and I mean, it was just crazy. So I mean, trapping is just so important, especially for turkey hunting. So if if you haven't trapped, if you're thinking about getting into it, just start with a dog proof or two. Start small, and then work your way up and all this other stuff. That's kind of what I'm doing, and it seems to be working just fine for me.
And if you're like me that just dives into everything head first and it's like, oh man, I got to have 500 traps. Not really. I don't have
Or
500
that.
traps. I'm just saying, figuratively speaking, my personality is, it's like, hey, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it 100 miles an hour and all in. So let's rip it, and
I
if
get
you're
that.
like
Oh
me,
yeah.
watch a bunch of YouTube videos cheaper than I can buy them. I love small business. I love supporting small businesses, but at the same time, I also like my pocketbook. So, and my wife doesn't get so upset with me when
Heard
I
that.
make them myself. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably make her mad just so she'll kick you out of the house, so you can go make them.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And there's a little trick you can do on your dog proof traps. So, the way you anchor
Yeah.
them to a tree, you can tie them off or whatever. But what I've done is I made cinches. So it's a wire cable. Obviously they can't chew through that. So I take that, I crimp it on one end, totally, loop it through the chain, crimp it. And then on the other side, I make a loop, but only one side of that loop is crimped. So it can still.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I just use this. I don't know if it's called an earth anchor. I don't know what it
Yeah.
really is, but it's basically just a screw that goes into the earth. So I just screwed it all the way down, and then I mean it's in 2 feet probably, and then
Yeah.
the chain that's coming off the dog proof, put that on there, you know, crimped that thing on, stuck it in the ground, put a few rocks on it, call it
Yeah.
a good.
Well, I'll tell you what, next time you come, or when I see you at this NWTF show, we'll just make them real away.
I'm in.
Makes it a lot quicker and
Hey,
easier than the earth anchors.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Yeah, I'm all the way in, dude. Because
Yeah.
man. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people listening are just like me. Have no idea. I've never done it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like let's just dive into it, learn together, and eventually in life, we'll halfway know what we're doing to make a video on it for y'all, so we can teach y'all.
Yeah, exactly. It's just every day getting out there and trying, and that's the biggest thing. Somebody's like, "Well, I don't know anything about this. I'm just not going to do it because I don't know."
So what?
Don't be that person. Just go do it, man. You're gonna mess up. You're not gonna catch stuff. Trust me. My traps, and I was like, "Oh, deflated." But in reality, it's okay. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's just getting out in the woods.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. My brother, that dude's a goober, man. That dude's a freaking goober.
Yep.
But anyway, he sent me this. I told him I was trapping raccoons or whatever, and he sent me a picture of 4 taxidermied raccoons and a wallered out log with paddles streaming, and he said that's the amount I need to get. And he said he wanted a hat. That's what made me think of it.
You know what we're gonna do for him? Build a hat. So
I love it. And you know what? That'll do to wear that hat.
Nor you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. He just got one of them regular size heads, unlike us.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I'm just real excited to get into something because man, whenever you're always into hunting and fishing, you're kind of looking for something else to do. Whenever those things aren't really in season or time of year, whatever. And here's trapping, another thing to be outside and to learn, and so I'm just really pumped up for that, and I'm ready to help out my turkeys. So, for people that think I'm just mad at turkeys, I promise I'm not. I love them until it's time to shoot them, and then I'm mad at them for a month and a half. But
I was about to
other
say,
than that, I'm always trying to help them.
I love.
Oh man, they are so
turkey nuggets,
freaking good.
Turkey nuggets are awesome. They are delicious. Well, folks, with that.
Yep. Booth 1956, NWTF Convention and Sports Show, Nashville, Tennessee, at the Gaylord Opryland Convention Center, February 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So come check us out. You can do what I'm doing, right? Come on that Wednesday, which is Valentine's Day. Take your wife, your lady, your whoever out to dinner that night, and then the next day, check out the sports show. So I hope to see you there. See you.
For all things Rooted Podcast and Rooted Television, and I mean hats, shirts, hoodies, and other merch, check out our friends at CH Lone Star Pro and the link that is in our description.